Will is a young business executive and extreme sports enthusiast whose life was forever changed 2 years earlier when he was hit by a motorcycle while crossing the street, leaving him almost completely paralyzed. 2 years later, 26-year-old Lou Clark is an average Jane from a small town in England. She worked at a cafe until its owner abruptly announced that he was shutting the place down, leaving her jobless. Bummed, Lou goes job hunting until she lands a gig as a caretaker for a paralyzed man named Will Trainer. She is interviewed for the position by Camilla Trainer, a magistrate whose son, Will, requires 24-hour care. Camilla warns Louisa about Will's moodiness. The next day, Louisa arrives for work, is instructed never to leave Will alone for more than 15 minutes, and meets Will's nurse, Nathan. Will attempts to scare Louisa off and rejects her attempts to speak with him. Over the next few weeks, Louisa adjusts to her new position but struggles to connect with Will. When Will receives two visitors, she overhears Will's ex-girlfriend, Alicia, and former best friend, Rupert, announcing their engagement. Out of anger, Will destroys his photographs of Alicia. Louisa attempts to fix the photographs and responds to Will in anger when he yells at her for doing so. Her unwillingness to back down intrigues him. They begin watching films together and discussing Louisa's life outside of work. At one of Will's appointments, she learns there is no cure for his condition and spots scars on Will's wrist from previous suicide attempts. One day during a blizzard, Louisa must stay overnight with Will to care for him. When Will grows ill, she attempts to nurse him back to health with Nathan's help. Throughout the night, Will and Louisa chat. Louisa shares a childhood memory of a pair of yellow and black striped tights that inspired her unique style. As weeks pass, Louisa attempts to spend time with her long-term boyfriend, Patrick, who is preoccupied with triathlon training, but feels like they are growing apart. She and Will begin to spend time together outside. Later that day, Louisa overhears Camilla and Will's father arguing over Will's decision to undergo euthanasia at 6 months at a clinic in Switzerland. Although Lou is shaken by this revelation, she has a plan. She'll take Will on a series of excursions to show him that life is still worth living. Lou tells them that they are going to the races. The outing doesn't get off to a good start. She parks the car in a wet field and Will's wheelchair gets stuck in deep, soft mud almost immediately. He quietly endures the indignity of being pushed onto firmer ground by a group of passing lads whom Lou has cheerfully recruited to help them. They watch a couple of races, with Lou being the only one really enjoying herself. Later, Lou makes an embarrassing scene when they are refused admission to the restaurant on the grounds that they have the wrong color badges. Back at home, Lou is quick to admit that the outing to the races was not a good idea, but bravely goes ahead with her next plan. She invites Will to go with her to a concert with music by Mozart, this time giving him the option to decline. Will, after eliciting that she has never been to a classical concert, agrees to go. Over a webcam, Lou discusses dresses for the concert with her sister. Trina is quick to point out that Lou is going on a date with Will Trainer. She tells her to wear her red dress. On the night of the concert, Lou arrives at the annex just as Nathan is putting the finishing touches on Will's outfit for the night. He looks at Lou and tells her to lose the scarf. He is smiling broadly when Lou slowly takes off the scarf and reveals her décolletage. At the concert venue, Lou discreetly directs Will as he carefully maneuvers his wheelchair into the space beside her seat. When the music starts, she listens in quiet rapture, Will watching her out of corner of his eye. Lou backs up the car into his parking space outside the Trainer residence. Will gently teases her, saying that she hated the concert. Lou goes along with the banter, then suddenly is honest and admits that she loved it. Will says that he did too. Lou and Will are having a picnic. She tells him that Patrick wants to meet him, then adds that so do her parents, and that they have suggested she ask him to her birthday dinner that week. Will surprises her by saying he will come and she wants him too. Nathan is dropping Will off at Lou's home. Her parents, Bernard and Josie, are welcoming him warmly. Patrick arrives late and is, as usual, preoccupied with himself and his running. He is the only one who stares when Lou is discreetly feeding Will at the table. Later there is cake and presents for Lou. The family have made her a cheerful photo album with pictures of her throughout her life. She thanks them warmly and shows them how much she loves it. Then Patrick proudly presents her with the piece of jewelry he had specially made for her. Lou is visibly disappointed when she sees a necklace with a silver heart inset with the letters of his name. Will quietly says that he too has a present for her. He tells her it is in his bag. She opens the lid and is deliriously happy when she sees that it contains a pair of full-size yellow and black striped tights. Patrick looks on as glumily as Lou is insanely excited about the crazy tights, and Will looks exceedingly handsome as he is laughing with her. When Nathan comes to drive Will home, all come out to say goodbye. Will thanks them graciously and Lou's mother gives him an affectionate peck on the cheek. When Lou arrives in the annex the next day, reading out various events they could attend from a brochure, Will shows her an invitation to Alicia and Rupert's wedding that has arrived in the post. They have gone over to the ruined castle. Will leads the way through the ruins and up the ramparts. He tells Lou about his first kiss, which he had in this spot and playing in the castle as a child, and how it had been his favorite place in the world. Lou says it would still be her favorite place today. Will argues that is because she has not been anywhere. When she asks him where his favorite place is, he tells her about a street cafe in Paris, describing the place in minute detail. Lou suggests they could go there, but he firmly declines. Then he says that he will go to Alicia's wedding and asks her if she will come with him. Lou answers that she will if he wants her to. When Lou comes home, she finds her mother dressed to the nines, ready to go out. Her father bursts into the room, excitedly telling her that he has got a job. He has been offered a position as head of the maintenance crew at the castle by Will's father. Lou's parents go out to celebrate. Lou is on the phone to Will, knowing he is behind her father's new job, afraid it could make for an awkward relation between them. Will does not see a problem. He argues that it seems perfect, his father needing a maintenance man and her father needing a job and being eminently suitable for the position. Then he adds that it will also give her the chance to spread her wings when her job with him is finished, because her family won't have to rely on her and come any longer. Lou is at work in the annex. The doorbell rings and a man wearing a business suit introduces himself and asks for Mr. Trainer. She Googles his name and a picture of him comes up. Lou reads with horror that he is an attorney specializing in wills. Lou and Will are attending Alicia's wedding. Will looks on sadly as Alicia walks down the aisle towards Rupert. When the newlyweds take to the dance floor, an improbably glamorous middle-aged lady, Joanna Lumley, sits down beside Lou and introduces herself as the godmother of the bride, adding immediately that the bride is not somebody she is proud to be morally responsible for. She encourages Lou to get drunk because it is hard to endure the occasion when sober, and also to look after Will because he is a keeper. Alicia has the good grace to come over and talk to Will, thanking him for coming and for his present, but she is visibly relieved when her duty is done and she can move away. Lou, rather tipsy by now, climbs onto Will's lap and asks him to give her a whirl on the dance floor. He drives his chair onto the dance floor and they spin around slowly among the dancing couples. Will looks Lou into the eyes and tells her that most days she is the only reason that makes him want to get out of his bed. They arrive back home the next morning, having spent the night in a hotel. Camilla reprimands Will for not contacting her to let her know, and Nathan also is worried. Will, though visibly exhausted but had a good time. Patrick and Lou quarrel about her putting her work for Will before their own holiday plans. They part without making it up. Lou receives a message on her phone that Will is in hospital. Lou is stunned when she hears Will has pneumonia, saying all he had on the day of the wedding was a slight cough. Nathan explains that his system is so weak and that the slightest chill can lead to infection of his lungs. Will's father adds that this is his fourth bout of pneumonia and that the previous one had nearly killed him. After spending the night in the hospital and sitting with Will for a while in the morning, Lou is back in the annex, canceling the reservations for a planned trip. Nathan comes in with a supply of medication. He sits down at the kitchen counter opposite Lou. She looks at him and asks him if he knows, referring to Will's plans to travel to Switzerland to end his life. Nathan says yes, he does, and tries to explain to her just how hard Will's life is and how much pain he is constantly suffering, even though he hides it when Lou is around, doing everything he can to make her happy. Lou is desperate. She asks Nathan if he would accompany them on one last trip if the doctors agree to Will going. Nathan confirms that he would, telling her that he too wants Will to live, but only if he wants it himself. In Lou's home, Patrick is waiting for her with a candle-lit dinner. He wants to make up for their tiff on the day of Will's pneumonia. The food is healthy rather than delicious. When he sees a brochure for the trip Lou is planning for Will, he becomes jealous. Lou is firm that she is putting Will first and Patrick leaves. Lou is deeply unhappy about their acrimonious parting. Lou, Will and Nathan are traveling in a private jet. Will is much weakened after his recent illness. They arrive at a luxury beach resort in an exotic location. Lou is spending all of her time with Will. Nathan is amusing himself with the pretty blonde when he is not needed. Will and Lou encourage them to spend time together, assuring Nathan that they will be fine. It is night. Lou walks across Will's room to close the French doors. He asks her to leave them open so he can see the lightning. She walks over to him, checking he is all right. Lou gently lies down on his bed and they kiss. Will has booked Lou on a scuba diving tour. He won't listen to her objections, and when she finally resurfaces after the dive, she is ecstatic. At night, Lou is slowly dancing on the beach under the stars. Lou walks towards him, then sits on his knees. Will says that he needs to tell her something. Lou answers that she knows about Switzerland. She suggests that she can make him happy, and he concedes that life can be good, but adds that he will never be able to accept his life as it is now. He speaks of pain and exhaustion, and he insists that he would never want to be the cause of any regrets she might have later in life. Then he asks her to travel to Switzerland and be with him until the end. Lou is distraught. She tells him that she loves him and that she needs him, that she is a new person since she has met him, but that now he is asking her the worst thing imaginable and that she wishes to never see him again. She runs away from him, leaving him to call after her. On the trip home, the mood is subdued. At the airport back in England, Lou declines an invitation from the trainers to eat with the man rushes out to catch a bus home. Camilla hurries after her. Lou turns and looks at Camilla before boarding the bus. She says she is sorry and that there is no need to pay her. The next day, Lou hears from her father that the trainers have left for Switzerland. She is distraught, realizes that she has made a huge mistake. Encouraged by her father, she makes it to Dignitas in time and shares a tender moment with Will before he goes through with the procedure. Before his death, Will writes Lou a letter that specifically requests that it only be opened while Lou is at Paris cafe. So she goes. The letter says that Will has left Lou a small amount of money so she can go back to school and follow her dreams. It also expresses Will's sadness at causing her pain, though he hopes that she will emerge from the other end of her grief as a better person. Thus begins a bold new chapter in Lou's life.